Hollywood. That's gooey, ballyhooly Hollywood, where any office boy or young mechanic.
Hello, Hollywood. Welcome to this morning's Walk of Fame ceremony. I would also like to give a shout out to our fans watching our live stream presented by our partner, Variety. I'm Rana Gadban, President and CEO of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, which is presenting this program. Today, we are honoring one of the movie industry's most prolific and versatile directors, F. Gary Gray. Was the 2665th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But before we invite him up to the stage, let me tell you about our honoree. Though a native of New York, F. Gary Gray was raised primarily in South Los Angeles. South Central, you got it. Throughout his career, Gary has excelled at bringing the most predominant themes from the pop culture zeitgeist to the screen. With more than 25 years in the industry, Gary has been able to consistently and successfully maneuver between genres ranging from comedy to thriller to drama to action. Let's give him a round, you guys. For this work, Gary received the prestigious Excellent in the Arts Award in the 2017 from the American Black Film Festival. Gary's films include Be Cool, The Italian Job, A Man Apart, which starred Vin Diesel, who's here with us today, as well as Law-Abiding Citizen, which is starred Gerard Butler and Academy Award winner Jamie Foxx. His film, Straight Outta Compton, made over $160 million at the domestic box office, making Gary the highest grossing African American director. Recently, Gary directed the 8th installment of the Fast and Furious series, The Fate of the Furious. The film was released in 2017 and was the #1 movie in the world at the domestic, international, and global box office for 2 weeks. It broke multiple box office records, including the biggest global and international opening of all time and highest grossing film from an African American director ever. Currently, Gary is working on a few different projects. His production company, Phoenix Studios, is developing a film based on the hit action video game Saints Row with Greg Russo, the creator of Mortal Kombat. Any Mortal Kombat fan out here? As an avid philanthropist, Gary also devotes his time to many different charities, including the Tom Bradley Youth and Family Center, My Friend's House Foundation, and Urban Compass, among many others. Because of his dedicated work in this field, Gary has received the President's Lifetime Achievement Award from the Office of President Obama for his volunteer service. And of course, you can see Gary's latest film, Men in Black International, the Sony's Picture action and adventure movie, which will be released nationwide on June 14. And I'd like to give a special shout out to Hollywood Suits for Men in Black. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage our honoree, F. Gary Gray. Jamie Foxx is here. Jamie Foxx is here. Okay. Hello. Welcome today. Congratulations. Let me ask you to stand right here so the camera can see you. Thank you. But before we hear from Gary today, we have two guest speakers who'd like to say a few words about our honoree. Our first speaker is an actor, singer, and comedian. He won an Academy Award for Best Performance by an actor in a leading role for his work in the 2004 film Ray. The same year, he was nominated for an Oscar for Best Performance by an actor in a supporting role for his work in the action film Collateral. His other films include Django Unchained, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Baby Driver. Up next, he can be seen starring in the Warner Brothers courtroom drama, Just Mercy. He's currently executive producing and hosting a unique interactive game show called Beat Shazam, which is an attempt to identify the biggest hit songs of all time. Please welcome to the stage Walk of Famer, Jamie Foxx.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, F. Gary Gray, please. F. Gary Gray, F. Gary Gray, F. Gary Gray, F. Gary Gray. Listen, I'm not going to talk a long time. It's just that I've known this young man for a long time. Every time I throw a party, every time we hanging out, I always make sure we stop whatever record is playing and we let people know that F. Gary Gray is in the building. You know why? Because you've given us classics, man. You've given us opportunities, especially starting with the videos. Ice Cube, It Was a Good Day, Waterfalls, all these different things. A young black man from New York, South Central. South Central. South Central. But what people may not know, just as far as the craft is concerned, he started with videos, but when he transitioned into movies, one thing that people don't understand how hard that is of a jump. A lot of people will sometimes be great at doing music videos but not be able to make that leap. I got a chance to work with F. Gary Gray even after all of the accolades or whatever like that. We did Law Abiding Citizen. What he did on the crafts part of it was he challenged me. I went to set and I'm thinking I'm whoever I am, just doing my thing, and I got a Grammy, whatever it was, and he called me that night and said, "Yo, what was that today? You stunk." But what there was, he challenged because he wants to get the best out of you. And then at one point, he brought me into the tent and he showed me something. He showed me a clip, and he said, "Yo, J. Fees, take a look at that, J. Fees. You see that, J. Fees? You see what that is right there?" And I said, "What is it?" He said, "It's cinematic." And that's what's great about his movies. It's not just a color. He transcends that. He transcends. It's not just I'm doing a black film. He does a film for all people to watch and enjoy. Italian Jobs, Set It Off. These are cinematic films. And coming from a young black kid from South Central to have your name on these streets forever, they can never take it away from you. We will always marvel it. We will always lift you up, and we will always stop the record to say, F. Gary Gray is in the house.
Thank you so much, Jamie. We appreciate it. I'm going to ask you to please grab your seat, and you're going to join us for the picture afterwards. A round of applause for our honoree, F. Gary Gray. Our next speaker is a prominent actor, producer, and filmmaker. Most recently, he reprised his role as Dominic Toretto in the 8th installment of The Fast and the Furious, in which he both starred and produced, as well as voicing Groot in Avengers Endgame. His other films include Triple X, Return of Xander Cage, Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 2, The Chronicles of Riddick, The Pacifier, and many, many others. His next films are Fast 9 and Sony's Bloodshot, which will be released nationwide in February. Please help me welcome to the stage Walk of Famer Vin Diesel.
You always do that to me. You know I get shy, Gary. You know I get shy.
Come on, man. Come on, Cancer. Right there.
You know I get shy. So is this gonna be real quick? Are you gonna kick me off the stage, or can I preach? Can I say something? Well, first of all, our brother Jamie gave the nice one. I'm gonna give the bad boy one real quick. I'm so proud of Gary Gray. I'm so proud of Yes Cube. Today is a good day. I'm so proud of Gary Gray. I've known him for so long. Our careers have kind of coincided with one another. But before I went to Cannes in 1995, just a month earlier I had seen Friday. And Friday was done for about $3 million, but it taught a lot of us that were from the street that we could actually be something, that we could make something, that we could come out of our zone or the environment that we were raised in. I'm the exact opposite. I'm from New York. Tell them I'm from New York City. And so I have been tracking F. Gary Gray since 1995, before 1995. And Jamie said you could see the hints of his cinematic genius in the music videos he was creating. Today Was a Good Day was one of my favorite music videos, and it was a story that talked to us. At that time, in 1994, they were telling Gary and myself and all the other little hoodlums to not chase waterfalls. Stick to the streams and the lakes that you're used to, but Gary and I didn't listen to that. We were going to chase our dreams at all costs, which is something I want you to keep in mind when you look at F. Gary Gray. If you watch his filmography, if you watch his come up, if you watch his existence, it must be the definition of perseverance. It must be the definition of reaching for your dreams. Take a minute while we honor him, while we honor our brother with this star here. Take a minute to think about it in your own life and the inspiration of his work and what that means in your own life, because there is inspiration in this man. 1996, I went to the first premiere I ever went to in Hollywood. It was a couple of months before I went to Sundance, and it was a film called Set It Off. Set It Off. Now, you were seeing a lot of these female heroes in Hollywood now, but back in 96, we never seen anything like it. Gary Gray directed a movie with the baddest female characters we had ever seen in Set It Off. It, to this day, is one of my favorite movies. Then I did a film called Red Line. Yeah. Then, I heard you. I did a film called Red Line in 2000. Right after I did the movie called Red Line, I did a movie. I had the luxury of partnering with Gary on a film called A Man Apart. It, to this day, is one of the street's favorite movie, A Man Apart. And Gary was able to bring out all of that street that sometimes Hollywood doesn't allow a person like me to bring out, but Gary was able to bring that out. Then that movie named Red Line came out, and then they retitled it, and they called it The Fast and the Furious. Gary Gray, while we're here, since this is a once in a lifetime, I'm going to get into it. Gary, when we did A Man Apart, they kind of set us up to failure. Can I tell you a secret? They told Gary that if he went over $1, if he went $1 over budget, they were going to take it out of his pay. Can you believe how they tried to set us up to fail? And this was right after that unfortunate time in the streets where we had the East Coast, West Coast, and I was coming from the East Coast and he was repping the West Coast. So it was a very volatile situation where we were able to get a performance to this day that I am so proud of. That came from this experience of A Man Apart. I don't know if we knew we were going to meet again someday. And then our brother Pablo passed away, and the studio, Universal, wanted us to make an 8th chapter. And it was a difficult time. And so they brought in someone that almost felt unlikely to me at the time. They brought in F. Gary Gray. And for a minute, F. Gary Gray and I thought they were trying to set us up again. I gotta tell you, man, I remember I was about a month away from starting to film Fast 8. And I was working with our brother Ice Cube up in Canada. And he got on the phone with Gary and he said, make sure you take care of my brother here. No, really, make sure you take care of my brother. We went to make Fast 8, and what Jamie had talked about in terms of F. Gary Gray seeking performances that were unheard of, he kept likening the Charlize and my relationship with Marlon Brando and Vivian Lee in A Streetcar Named Desire. And he said he expected that and more. He said, we're going to go in and we're going to hit every obstacle, every road bump. Everyone's going to try to hit us. Everyone's going to try to snipe us. You got to promise me, Vin, when we're done with this movie, we go to the premiere, arm in arm, brother and brother, head held high, proud, and never allow our brothership, ever allow our brotherhood to be broken. So we went to the premiere in Radio City Music Hall. Arm in arm, brother by brother. And my father at the end of the movie came up to me and said, "Son, it's the best Fast and Furious I've ever seen." So Gary and I just went off like we do in our corner, just smiling and joking and laughing and saying, "Can you believe we beat all the odds?" A week later, they said it is the fastest movie to $1 billion in cinematic history.
True story, true.
So as we acknowledge someone that is long overdue, someone that is such a blessing to our industry, someone that has such an authentic voice, someone that has been contributing so much to culture, I gotta leave all that film stuff, all that Hollywood stuff aside and say, I'm just grateful to God that I have a brother named Gary Gray that's been rocking with me for decades. And I can't wait until that next day that Gary and I are walking on to that first day of filming saying, "I'll see you at the premiere, brother," with smiles.
Thank you so much, Vin Diesel. Before we introduce, and present the resolution to our honoree today, we have a few celebrities in the audience who are also here today supporting Gary. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for actor Tyrese Gibson, Ice Cube, and actress Paula J. Parker. I'd also like to recognize our LAPD officer and Captain Corey Polka from LAPD Hollywood Division for their continued support of the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The Hollywood Chamber of Commerce administers the Hollywood Walk of Fame on behalf of the City of Los Angeles. And today, unfortunately, our council member could not be here with us, but we do have a resolution to present on behalf of LA City Council member Mitch O'Farrell to our honoree, F. Gary Gray. If you want to place it there, it'll be easier for you so you don't have to. On behalf of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, we now declare today F. Gary Gray Day in Hollywood. And it's now the time that you all have been waiting for. It's a time to hear from our honoree. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you F. Gary Gray.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. It's hard to follow Vin. Very hard to follow Vin. Wow. I will keep this short, as short as I possibly can. I want to start by thanking the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. This is an incredible, incredible honor. It really, truly is. Wow. To place this star even near, let alone alongside some of the greatest artists of all time. Muhammad Ali, Marvin Gaye, Steven Spielberg, Richard Pryor, Jamie Foxx, Vin Diesel, Ice Cube. I really, really, truly am honored to even be mentioned alongside you guys. Wow. I really want to thank every producer that's given me a shot. I want to give a thanks to New Line Cinema, to Regency Pictures, to Warner Brothers, to Paramount, to Sony Pictures, to Universal Pictures. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to express myself and to play around. Thank you. I also want to thank every assistant that's ever worked for me. And you know who you are. My mama said, God bless their heart. I appreciate you. It couldn't have been easy. I thank every crew member and every cast member. And as you guys see, there's a few people who came out today to bless me with their presence. I really appreciate you. Ice Cube, thank you for being there from the start. You really don't get the credit you deserve. People see my big movies, but they don't know that you looked out for me in the beginning. It was a good day, Friday, and it all came full circle when you let me tell your story, your life story. With Straight Outta Compton, we made history. Thank you for having my back. Vin Diesel. You know, it's funny. We worked with each other a long time ago, and like he said, maybe we were set up, maybe we weren't. But when people around town heard we were going to work again on Fast 8, they said, uh-oh, that might be nuclear. That might be, we want to see this. This might be a fight. But like he said, we agreed that no matter what happens, we're going to lock arms and we're going to be together at the premiere. And we took that film around the world, Iceland, Cuba, around the world. And I appreciate you letting me join the Fast family. We made history, and I love you for it. Thank you. Jamie Foxx. Always just a cool brother, man. Just a cool brother. You went and got Oscars and all types of stuff. And I was like, one day I want to work with you. But just besides all of the fanfare and the Hollywood stuff, you just always been supportive. Just always just cool. You always embarrassed me when I came to your parties. Gary Gray's in the house. You know I don't like to be watched. I'd like to watch. I like to watch. I'm an observer. Thank you for putting me on the spot. But more importantly, thank you for your brotherhood. I appreciate you. Tyrese, thank you. Paula J. Parker, thank you. I appreciate you. Uncle Phil. Uncle Phil is partly the reason why I'm in this business, and people say, where are you from, New York or L.A.? I'm from Los Angeles. I'm from South Central L.A. I was born in New York, but I was only there for 2 weeks. And we grew up in a rough neighborhood, and Uncle Phil convinced us to go to one of his plays at the Centinela Park. It was the Playhouse, Centinela Playhouse. And I don't know how you got us and you convinced us to see that play, but that was my way into this business when I saw our people come together in a familial environment and create. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. I want to thank the people who represent me, who help me navigate not only this business, but navigate life. My managers, Brian Dobbins, Alan Fisher. My agents, Ramses Ishak, Mike Sharesky, and more than an attorney, you've had my back since before I did Friday. You saw something in me that most people ever saw. You've gone above and beyond the call of duty to have my back. Thank you, Nina Shaw. You are amazing. You are amazing. I want to thank my extended family. Thank you to the Holmes family for supporting me when I was younger. I want to thank my friends for being there for me. Thanks for the laughs. I see you, Andy. Thank you for having my back. Thank you for keeping me grounded. Thank you for carrying me to my car when I've been worn out in production. Thank you for just loving me regardless of the success and the fame. I also want to thank my family for being supportive and being there for me. Thank you for accepting my absence sometimes when I go off and I shoot these movies. I was in a hospital with my dad last year, and I asked him, what do you think about life? Give me some advice. How you feel? He says, I feel good. I said, yeah? He said, yeah, I did everything I wanted to do. And at the end of it, I get my name on the Walk of Fame. We share the same name. I am F. Gary Gray III. Rest in peace, Dad. But I want to dedicate this star to my mom, who is in the audience today. I want to dedicate this to you, Ma. There's nobody on this earth that is stronger than this woman. Everything you've gone through, all the strength that you've shown, I get my mental toughness from you. I love you. Thank you. Someone asked me today, what does this star represent to you? And I say it represents growth. Not fame, not fortune. It just represents growth. When we were on our way here, we stopped past 6255 Sunset Boulevard. And in that building is a company where I freelanced when I was younger. And I was grabbing coffee, and I was ADing and PAing, and I used to say, one day I'm going to be a big director. I'm going to make epic films. And there was an executive who told me, no, you won't. You didn't go to film school. I couldn't afford film school. I couldn't. But the reason why this star represents growth is because some would say that this star is some sort of vindication for moments like that. Because I had plenty of them where people tell me I wasn't going to make it. You're not going to do it. But it's growth because I not only wish my supporters success, I wish my naysayers success. And if I had any advice, never let anybody take your power away from you. Wish them well and create and build. I love you. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate you. I'm not done yet.
No, we're going to go down together. Okay. We're going to unveil the stars. I'm going to walk you down. What an inspiring speech. Thank you so much. We are so honored to have you here with us today, Gary.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
And now it's time to unveil the star, and we're going to ask you to join us by cheering as we celebrate and unveil the star for our honoree, F. Gary Gray. Are we going to walk down together?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We proudly welcome to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, F. Gary Gray.
Everybody look straight in the center, please. Right in the center. Look to your right, please. Back to the center, please. Okay. Left. Look to the left, please. Jerry, can you come a little?
Of course.
Straight ahead, please. Okay. So we have Jamie and Ben and Garen stand on your star. Stand right on it.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Should we shift to right?
Don't worry about shooting. That's right. That's right.
Can we just take it and son of it? Rotate.
Straight ahead, gentlemen.
Straight ahead.
Jamie, we don't see you though.
He's going
Right in the center, gentlemen.
Such a professional. I meant on everybody. You're such a professional. Let's take a picture.
Gentlemen in the corner.
Hey guys. Those good looking men.
Okay, guys. Over to your right, gentlemen. To your uncle. Uncle, thank you, Uncle. And you guys can look to the left here. Okay. So now, thank you, gentlemen. You're by yourself.
Straight ahead.
To your left. Yeah, Gary, right next to him. Right here. Thank you.
Hold that strong, Gary. Congratulations.
Right.
Back here, Gary, second row. Back here, Gary, second row. Oh yeah. Just standing. Woohoo! Little swagger.
Right down here, Gary. Down here to your left. Make it on. Gary. To the right, please.
Gary.
Let me get you on. And then the rest of the family go down.
On the other side.
Straight ahead.
Gary and Mom?
To your left. Over to your right.
Gary over there.
And the rest of your family.
That's my dad. That's Phil right there. Lord, not TD.
Your left. You're right. You're right in front of him. You get one stand.
Quick.
Come a little in the Of course.
She's getting bent on.
Everybody straight in the center.
No, get one more. That look out of focus. I know.
Security in the back. Anna.
Corky, step back, Corky.
Okay. It's X.
Wait, Q.
Q,
We haven't gone there.
I'm sorry, it's my client.
Ice Cube, come back. Ice Cube. We haven't got. We didn't get that shot.
Yeah, me too. That's my client. What do you want, guys?
I know.
Oh, yes, always.
The dance I did was that I was
Gentleman on the right. Gary, there's a brother from another mother right there.
Guys, to your left. Down here, Gary, to your left. Down here, to your left, Gary and I. Right down here, Tyson with a smile.
Hey, sexy.
Come on, T, a little smile.
That's right. Trying to be badass. Come on.
Okay, gentlemen, everybody please.
Everybody over here for Anna, right there in the corner.
So I'm going to do the shot here. Gary.
Oh, you got it? Sorry, just my...
One more, guys. So I'm going to post him over here in a minute, so you guys can move up if you want the shot.
Just my ask.
Thank you.